Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Coburn, and today's episode, we're talking about the Detroit Lions versus Baltimore Ravens Week 13 matchup based on analytics. Each week, I collect all of the current 2017 NFL team data in order to analyze and project potential NFL performance. And since it's a weekly collection, there's always going to be some variation between various data points. However, there's always going to be little nuggets of truth that could become bigger nuggets of truth as the season continues. So stick around as I analyze each week's matchups based on analytics. And if you're new to the channel, all terms and definitions will be in the description. So starting with this matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Baltimore Ravens. When you look at the NFL stat basic comparison data, and basic comparison data essentially is looking at how the offense is doing, how the defense is doing, and of course how the special teams is doing. And when you look at all this information, it's honestly dead even almost, guys. Like 75.17 to 75.75 for the Lions. Pretty close. So let's get into some let's get into some reasons why. Like, where is the closeness coming from? Well, first off, when you get to the offense, both these teams are very similar when it comes to turnover ratio. The Ravens have 71.81 when it comes to their turnover ratio score, whereas the Lions have a 73.07. So very similar in terms of turnover ratio. The Ravens have a better sack percentage. Basically, they don't allow as many sacks as the Lions do, which has been kind of the Lions' main issue this year. Offensive score percentage favors the Lions more so, though. So essentially, the Lions are able to put up more points on offense compared to the Ravens. But on defense, it's a flip. The Ravens' defense is 81.10, and the Lions' defense is 49.29. So essentially, the Ravens have a average offense with an above average defense, whereas the Lions have a average defense with an above average offense, just to put that into perspective. Then of course you look at the Ravens other defensive points. The Ravens are better when it comes to turnovers, they're better when it comes to sacks, and they're also better when it comes to interceptions, which is kind of one of the biggest downers for the Lions, is that they started out really well this year in terms of getting turnovers and interceptions, and they haven't been able to keep it up. The Ravens have, though. So this is kind of where both these defenses kind of diverge a bit. And then, of course, when you get to special teams data, punt return yardage favors the Lions. Kick return yardage favors the Ravens. Defensive punt return yardage favors the Lions. Defensive kick return yardage favors the Ravens. The field goal percentage favors the Lions. Extra point percentage favors the Lions, and then punting average favors the Ravens. So overall, when you look at the NFL stat basic comparison data when it comes to special teams, I would say it's honestly kind of even as well. The Lions have slightly better field goal percentage, so I might give a slight nudge to them. But I would say that it's fairly even between both these teams when it comes to how the data kind of looks and how it stacks up. But overall, when you look at kind of the landscape of everything, the Ravens and the Lions are fairly evenly matched. It's offensive powered offense, in terms of the Lions, and defensive heavy team when it comes to the Ravens. And when we get to the end, I'll give you my kind of final thoughts on what might happen because of that. But that's just what the data looks like right now between both these teams. Now, when you get to some other sort of data points, so getting into some micro matchups, down and distance data, situational football, as Bill Belichick likes to call it. And when you look at this, the Ravens offense versus Lions defense when it comes to completion percentage data, the Ravens are favored on second and third down. Then you get to the Lions offense versus the Ravens defense, where the Ravens are favored on first and third down. So the Ravens, I think, will have, on defense, I think they'll have some success overall in those particular situations. Then, of course, you get to rushing down. So this is the first down conversion rate with the run, which is basically the ability to get first downs with the run. It has nothing to do with yardage or any of that stuff. It's just your ability to be efficient in different downs and distances. And in this particular area, the Ravens are favored on first and second down. So I think the Ravens will have some success running the football against the Lions. Then, of course, you get to the Lions offense versus Ravens defense when it comes to rushing downs. And in this particular area, the Ravens are favored on first and third down. Then you get to passing data where the Ravens offense versus Lions defense, where the Lions are favored on first, second, and third down. So this is probably going to be a key matchup for the Lions. If the Lions can have some success getting some turnovers, stifling the Ravens' passing offense, I think they might have some success. Then, of course, you get to passing downs for the Lions offense versus Ravens defense. In this particular area, the Ravens are favored on second and third down, but third down's pretty even between both these teams. So that's going to be something to kind of keep track of. I think it might be pretty even in certain areas, so just keep that in mind when you think about this game. Then we get to sack rate. Ravens offense versus Lions defense, where the Ravens are favored on first and second down. And the only area where there might be some issues is third down. The Ravens allow most of their sacks on third down, and the Lions force most of their sacks on third down. So that's going to be the main area to kind of keep track of in terms of if a sack happens is that third down situation. Then, of course, you get to the sack rate for the Lions offense versus Ravens defense, where the Ravens are favored on first, second, and third down. Bottom line, the Ravens are going to be getting some sacks in this game. Then, of course, you get to interception ratio of the Ravens offense versus Lions defense, where the Lions are favored on first and second down. And finally, you get to the Lions offense versus Ravens defense, where the Ravens are favored on second and third down. Probably a pick coming on second down because the majority of the interceptions that Stafford throws come on second down. That's also an area where the Ravens usually get interceptions. So not the best combination, not the best situation to be in is the best way to put it in that particular area. So overall, general thoughts about this game. I honestly don't know how to feel. I'm siding with the Lions because of this. Offensively speaking, teams that have better offenses typically win more football games than defensive-heavy teams. When you have an offense that's able to put up points and your defense is just average, you're going to have success. You're going to win football games when you have that formula. Versus the Ravens method this year, which has been meh offense with above average defense. Where the defense has to create everything. The defense has to, create these situations to win, essentially. So from this kind of perspective, that's just kind of how I feel about this game. I think that it's either one, like either team could win this game. Like the Ravens could create a bunch of sacks and get interceptions and just do all that stuff and win. Same token, the Lions could find success passing the football pretty well and kind of do what they do and then end up winning as well. And also the Lions defense kind of coming up with some big plays because of just how poor the Ravens offense has played. So this is going to be a very interesting game to see. Leave a comment below on who you think will win this game. And of course, my name is James Coburn. You can find my other work at draftcoburn.wordpress.com. You also follow me on Twitter at Geometrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video as well with anybody that you know. Hit that notification button as well if you want to be notified as soon as possible whenever I put up a new video. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.